Hello, everybody. A second to get everything set up. Okay. Okay. Got all that stuff booted up. Ooh. Okay. Just get the rest of this up and running. Let people know that I'm live. Okay. Oh, let me let. Okay. Letting people know that the live. Okay. What am I doing? Let's boot over to just chatting. And boop, yep, there we go. Oh my gosh. So, here we are again. Finding ourselves at yet another Magical Girl stream. I know I said I was going to go back to gaming, but like I got thinking about it and I have a one shot planned with two adventurers, two magical girls. Hey Silva, I have a one shot planned to play through this Sunday with my magical girl system, and I wanted to take some time to refine my ideas, and also I thought there would be enough content there to not just refine my ideas but also share some of my campaign planning ideas and thoughts and theories, techniques, and so we could theorize and theory craft about what kind of campaign could be built around with the world that we've already started creating in the last stream. And I kind of wanted to do this while stuff was still fresh in my mind. And I was still like focusing on like whatever it was that I had to do. So that's a thing that I just wanted to do. How was your week, Silva? I haven't talked to you in forever. For those of you who don't know and don't get the joke, Silva and I watch anime together for anime nights on a little bit of Thursdays and a lot of it on Saturdays. And that's always a fun time. Right now on Thursday nights, we're watching our way through Attack on Titan, and we just got through the first season. So, Silva, have you seen? You said you stopped watching after the end of the first season, right? Because you didn't like the liberties the anime took with Aaron's character, or something like that. Like you didn't like. It was like they gave him some kind of weird fire powers. Was that not in the manga at all? Like, how did that scene go in the manga? Like, I'm worried to look it up because I'm worried if I look up Aaron versus Annie or like Aaron Titan versus Annie Titan, I'm gonna get completely different kinds of pictures. Exact same, just no fire stuff. Okay. You also commented on how you were surprised that they were going into the Beast Titans so early because that's the name of the next episode we're gonna watch. And it has me concerned. I'm wondering if the show does like a time skip or something. Because if I remember, there was like a whole arc before they reached the Beast Titan. Because I read part of the manga. I read up to like I think the end of the was it the Beast Titan? What was that Titan that ran with its face along the ground? That like you couldn't get to its weak spot because its only weak spot was like on its head or something, and its head was flat against the ground as it ran. Which Titan was that one? And it was when they revealed that the one girl was the princess. And she had to like motivate the people to work together. It's been a long time since I read. I mean, that. It'd be a spoiler. Okay. All right, we'll see it together. I had a bunch of Taco Bell food today, and it was so good. So it's funny. Whenever I get Taco Bell, I normally just get like 2 or 3 crunch wraps, but I put a bunch of stuff on them, and then it always ends up being like super expensive. But tonight I looked at some of the cheaper things and was like, hey, I could put some of those same things on a burrito or a taco and get a lot of that same filling stuff that I get on my crunch wrap, but for cheaper. And I paid roughly the same amount as what I would have paid for the crunch wrap and stuff, but I was more full. I got more stuff with it. And I was thinking about how like a lot of people talk about how Taco Bell messes with your stomach and like it like puts people on the toilet for long periods of time, but the thing that they always talk about that does that is the meat and the cheese being like super low quality stuff that just tears up your stomach, right? And for me, I don't eat the meat and the cheese. So I get the goodness of the Taco Bell flavor and the cheapness of the Taco Bell without getting the Taco Bell poopies, which is kind of funny. I remember I was talking to someone. I was like, "Yeah, I eat Taco Bell," though, and somebody, I can't remember how they're like, how do you deal with Taco Bell poops? I'm like, I don't get that at all. Like, well, doesn't the Taco Bell meat? I don't eat the Taco Bell meat. The beans, the rice, and the veggies. Ah. Ugh. So I was looking at Yu-Gi-Oh cards the other day, and it's really funny how cards that used to be completely broken and OP and unstoppable and expensive have been like reprinted so they're cheaper to get now, and they've been power crept so hard that they're just not relevant. No one uses them. Like when I played uh Gadget Machina Gadget before I left Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Um it was during the Xyz era, and one of the main Xyz a lot of people would run with Machina Gadget and with a lot of decks were trying to find ways to run was Mecha Phantom Beast Dragosack. Um and it's a rank 7 Xyz, you know, two level 7s to make. detach 1 to make 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. As long as you have a Mecha Phantom Beast token on the field, it can't be destroyed. And once per turn, you can pop a monster you control in order to pop a card on the opponent's field. Overall, really solid card. Good stats. It can force your opponent to waste resources while also clearing problem cards off the opponent's field and breaking their board, right? Good card. Now it's super cheap and no one cares about it. I don't see in any of the Machina decks and any of the Machina builds I see now. For they're all about doing the rank 10 stuff. Like some rank 4 and some rank 10 stuff. And I'm like, what about like just skip past rank 7? Like, and I mean I run 2 Dragosack because I got them super cheap. And it got me worried at first because I was like, is it banned or something? Because it was so weird to me, but I also played during the Dragon Ruler format when everyone was spamming out level 7s. I started typing in the name and Google automatically knew what I was looking for. Oh, because I've searched it before because I was curious, and it is unlimited. It's not banned or anything. I mean, yeah, it can't attack the turn you activate its effect to destroy something. But, like, you can just tag it out for something. Like, the tokens are level 3, and they're machines. So you can link them away. If you could get a tuner on the board, you could use them for synchro summons. I don't think you can Xyz with tokens. No, they can't. Yeah, they can't be used for Xyz materials. But you can link summon. So you'd think in this age of link summoning, right? A card that could just overlay the 2 7s, make Dragosack, detach, make the tokens, pop 1 token to pop a problem card on the field, then link away for 2 machines, like for a Cliffort or or some other link monster. Like, it's not a bad play. I just don't understand why nobody does it. I'm sure there's probably some solid reason where it's just like it takes up space, or it's like it just doesn't do enough stuff or something. Maybe it just doesn't do enough to justify the investment. Oh, the key Mecha Phantom Beast cards got banned. Okay. Yeah, like I see a video here from 2021 that just says Mecha Phantom Beast Dragosack best XYZ XZs ever released. Um, like its original version. I mean, I guess it goes for like 20 bucks. Maybe I should pick up a Big Eye too. Wonder if Big Eye got reprinted. It did get reprinted. It's still expensive. Because it's a good card. How much should I spend on Dragosack? Yeah, like Dragosack's like under, its reprint is under $1. I was gonna say, I know I wouldn't have picked it up if it was more than like $1. But Big Eye is still expensive. Well, there was a gold rare one? I wonder which one I got. Oh, let me check. I think I got the super rare one. No, I got the gold rare. The gold lettering. Yeah, if I hadn't already spent so much money on getting the pieces to finish up what I want for my Machina gadget deck, I would have ordered the super quants. As is, I'm just gonna wait to see. As long as my money comes through next month, I gotta be patient. And that's the thing with poverty, is like you have to be patient and spend money on what you want. Ooh, that's nice, Silva. RG Wing Gundam, very nice. Nice and spicy. Is it one of the new, is that the new RG kit they just came out with? That's epic. Congratulations. I know you're really excited about that. You're gonna build it tomorrow. That's cool. Yep. There's something else I was gonna say or look up. So there's this card that like everybody runs in a lot of the Machina builds. That's like Divine Arsenal, AA, Zeus, Sky Thunder. It's a machine, and it's this epic thing that's just this powerful card for clearing the board. It essentially, like, it has a quick effect that does the same thing the old Black Rose Dragon used to do. Except Black Rose Dragon destroyed itself. This destroys everything except itself. And then it's got a thing that when a card's destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can attach more stuff to it to reload it. And like it's a powerful card, but it's so expensive. Like, I think that's what's really defining my difference in like being a Yu-Gi-Oh player now from how it used to be when I used to play before. And that is that like I'm not justifying these extreme expenditures, even if it's like before it was like, oh, it's cheap because it's only a $20 card, right? I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore because I can't afford to, honestly. And I know it's gonna hold me back from like high tier competitive play, but I'm not. I mean, I'm barely, with as much stuff as I do, I'm gonna have to like cancel things if I want to go to the card shop for locals anyway. So that's already going to be a thing anyway, right? I don't see myself going to like how I used to do, where I would used to go to regionals, always dream of going to Nats or something. And part of it for me is just being okay with that. Like, I don't like talking about it, but there was a time in my life when I used to look down on people that were just so okay with being on the low tier. And that's not really a good look for me. The plastic strip was coming off the side of my computer. That's not disconcerting at all. Was this a sticker? A piece of tape or something was on the side of my laptop. That's bizarre. Sorry, I just saw this stuff like coming off the side of my laptop, and I was like, what in the world is that? Like, there was a point in my life when I used to talk about what I called street duelists who just dueled their friends down the street, did locals, and all that other stuff. And I talked about how those weren't the people that competed at the higher levels. And I used to be really not arrogant, but very proud of the fact that I was competing at at higher levels. And I think that's a lot of that's what drove me to invest so much time and money into card games, was that pride, taking pride in being good at something and having the resources to be good at something was a big deal for me. But now being so divorced from all of those resources and being in such a different place in my life, I'm just okay with being a street duelist who just duels his friends from up the street. I'm okay with just being another dude. And I think that's a healthy growth for me. Surprised we haven't seen Nabiru yet. Nabiru's probably got busy reading more manga again, probably doing something you buy. You know what Nabiru is probably up to. Oh, she's getting dinner. Okay. Well, I'll have to apologize for making that assumption that she was up to something you buy. If and when she gets here, I'll make sure to apologize for just making that assumption. But you can't blame me. You can't blame me, Silva. You honestly can't. Exactly. Exactly. She does get up to some very yabai things. Okay. All right. So, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Or in my case, the potatoes and potatoes. Hey, Nabiru. So I owe you an apology. When you weren't here earlier, I wrongly made the assumption that you were doing something you buy or that you were busy reading manga uh, or watching anime. But Silva corrected me and told me that you were just getting dinner. So I am sorry for wrongly making the assumption that you were up to something you buy. Uh, how was your dinner, Nabiru? You have been reading manga and watching anime, so that's correct technically. Okay. Alright, alright. So I wasn't entirely wrong. I was just slightly wrong. That's funny. So I have this rule when it comes to buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That I don't buy anything that's more than $1 to $1.50 of the price of the card. And I don't spend more than $20 a month normally. That's like my budget for Yu-Gi-Oh cards for the month because I'm on fixed income right now, right? And like, so I can't get this one card, Ash Blossom of the Joyous Spring, which stops your opponent from adding cards to hand, right? Because that's like the cheapest one of those is like $3. Like it's between $3 to $5 for the reprints of Ash Blossom, right? So I'm wondering if I might just get. I'm wondering if I might just get whatchamacallit, Droll and Lockbird. Is that banned? I hope it's not banned. Like, all right, I can get Droll and Lockbird. It's around $1.50. It might go a little over my price. Oh. So I might use Droll and Lockbird has the effect that if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, except during the draw phase, you can quick effect ditch this card from your hand to the graveyard, and for the rest of the turn, cards can't be added to either from either player's main deck to their hand. So you can just pitch it, and it's like an Ash Blossom. It doesn't stop the initial draw. It doesn't stop the initial add to hand, but it does stop all add to hand effects for the rest of the turn. Which I think is almost as good. Like, it doesn't stop the initial effect, but normally if someone, like in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh, if someone's doing a combo where they search something from their deck to their hand, Yeah, if you combo with it with what someone's adding from deck to hand, then you stop the rest of their combo. Like they can get maybe one boss monster on board. So I might pick up Droll and Lockbird as a side deck option. Well, you'd have to wait for them. You'd have to wait for your opponent to draw a card. How would you trigger Droll and Lockbird and card destruction in the same turn? Because card destruction you can only trigger during your turn. And Droll and Lockbird requires a card to go from the main deck to the opponent's hand. So I guess maybe play a card that lets both you and your opponent draw Droll and Lockbird, then card destruction, but then neither of you have a hand. Because it affects both players. Oh, but you'll get a kick out of this, Nabiru. I decided what deck I'm gonna work on making next. The next deck I'm gonna start investing in starting next month with my Super Quantums. Gonna make Power Rangers. All right, listen. We don't talk about how close Power Rangers is to Magical Girls. We don't talk about that. But my roommate got a lot of cards and said I could have anything from it, and there was a few pieces. Yeah, and since I mostly play casual, like the thing is, with both Machinas and Super Quants, if you put the investment in to get the pieces, it can win games at the competitive level. It can win like one or two games. Like more so Machina. Like if I put the time and effort in with Machina to get my hands on the Ash Blossoms, I already have the Veilers, to get the Infinite Impermanence, and to get all those combo pieces, and to get the Zeuses and all of those expensive things. I could make Machinas top tier. I could make them able to compete at a competitive level. Right. I've seen a lot of the deck builds I've seen for Super Quantums use the Danger Engine, the Danger cards for discard and draw, because the Quants have effects when they get when they go to the graveyard. My one teeny tiny problem is the key card to that combo, Danger Nessie, is out of my price range. It's like $2 or $3. Yeah. Yeah, but so the key card of the Danger Engine Nessie, which does the search, which powers everything else, is out of my price range. So I'm like, I'm just gonna forego the Danger Engine for now and just run pure Super Quants. That's what I'm thinking, or I'll see if the price of Nessie goes down by next month. Anyway, what is it? Dragon Maids? I also have a Trap Tricks deck. Someone gave a full Trap Tricks deck to my roommate, and he just kind of gave it to me. And so I have to figure out how to optimize that and decide if I'm going to play that at all. Oh, okay. I'm out of the loop with what's currently in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I'm slowly Luna Lights, Magical Animal Girls, Silent Magician Mitch with Witchcrafters. I didn't even know Witchcrafters was a thing. I've seen Luna Lights because I sorted through some Luna Lights when I was sorting through the lot of cards my roommate brought home. Ugh. Yeah, but sometimes the not meta stuff is really fun. Anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's stream. Lab Girls. What's Lab Girls? Entire archetype around trap cards using new monster girls called Labyrinth and a card name. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey. Let's get to tonight's actual meat and potato stream. So I last stream worked on planning out a one-shot adventure for my Magical Girl campaign. I have since had players say that they want to, for my Sunday game, since not everyone can be there for this upcoming Sunday, I'm going to be running a one-shot for 2 players. So that's exciting, but I want to refine my ideas a little bit because I'm worried that like I may have gone a little bit too heavy-handed with some of my ideas and mechanics, and also maybe flesh out some of the world a little bit in preparation for the shenaniganry that the players may get up to. So that's what we're going to be working on tonight. Refining my idea, doing some world building, and then once we have the idea refined a little bit more, and I like where that original one shot is going to be starting at, I'm going to talk about how I spin a one shot into a full campaign. What I do in order to develop the basic plot outline of a campaign. I'm going to be pulling a lot of stuff from How to Be a Great GM. Watch that channel if you want some really great videos on stuff. But I'll show my own little variations of things, which aren't too much different because a lot of that stuff is just really good anyway. Okay. Okay, so I know you like pulling off lots of shenanigans. You are maximum shenanigans, Nabiru. Okay. So we have our core themes. We have some of the basic stuff for the world. Let's work on what I have for this starting adventure. So this starting adventure starts a little bit heavy-handed with Princess Lilypad wanting to smash a homeless tent city. Kind of cartoonishly evil. But also a bit reminiscent of some real world politics as well, which I'm not exactly comfortable with. Because I want things to be fantastical. So I want to do something a little bit less heavy and a little bit more silly. I could use some of the same set pieces. But let's work on a new thesis here. Something a little bit less real worldy and a little bit more fantastical. Actually, I got a thought. I had a thought from a dream I had earlier that I want to follow up on. So I had this thought that like, um, um, never mind. So I had a thought. I saw something one time that talked about um being having some silliness and some fantasy in your world. Like our world, Earth, is a circular world where physics works and where science is predictable, right? And I saw this thing that was talking about, hey, make your world a Dyson sphere, make your world flat, make your world something different in order, and then look at what that does differently to the world in order to create a different feeling than just another variation of Earth. And I was wondering, like, that works interestingly when you're dealing with fantasy worlds, but how does that work when you're dealing with like modern stories like this? And the short answer is uh nothing would work. I googled it as like what would happen if Earth was actually flat, and it is an absolute nightmare. Magic keeps it together. Magic can keep climate livable, gravity in place. Yeah, then I have to make magic a known quantity in the world. Well, so here's the thing. That works in a fantasy setting. But if I want the story to take place in a more modern day setting where magic is a thing that's only really exclusively available to rare supernatural beings, then that doesn't work. You see what I mean? I feel like it might be a step too far for me. Yeah, it's like once you start allowing some things, it just kind of spirals, and that kind of pulls me out of it. Like I had a dream about it. I had a dream where I was working on building out this world, and my dream was to say that the world was actually a sub-world that was flat, that was created by a lesser deity that wanted to prove their power as a creation god, but didn't have the power to make a full sphere. Um, and I don't know where I was going with it. It was this weird thing. I was in this like when I was sleeping earlier, right? I was so stressed out because of an interaction I had with a friend of mine where I thought I may have said something hurtful. Um, I fell into this almost meditative state where I was working through problems and stuff while I was asleep. I was working through it in a dream state. And that was the idea I got for expanding this world. Okay, so let's make a new sentence. A new plot. I do want to explore the modern setting of this world, of this fight between Princess Lilypad and Prince Torture. But I want, because my problem is, the other problem I have with this one shot is it is so divorced from the primary conflict of the game, and it doesn't introduce Princess Lilypad, it doesn't introduce Prince Torture, it doesn't introduce any of the things of the world, and it doesn't even explain the primary conflict. And that just feels like a no-no for me. We're going to say that the red eclipse that Princess Lilypad is working towards takes place in 6 months. So that gives the players 6 months of in-game time in order to come up with a plan. Want to do something fantastical? Want to do something fantastical? What's something fantastical that can be a good early game conflict for heroes that's not too real worldy? Something maybe a little bit silly. Actually, hold on. Instead of starting in the middle, let's start at the beginning. Mm. Slimes that cause random swaps, item swaps, attack element swaps, body swaps while keeping your stats. I could do slimes. Slimes are nice and silly. They're silly and goofy. Ooh, slimes with little angel wings. So, like, the first angelic monstrosities are slimes. Yeah. Yeah. You might be onto something there, Nabiru. Let's set a goal for what the princess wants. All right. Be attacked at home. Okay. So we introduced the plot here. Still going to feature the homeless, but it's not going to be as heavy as like trying to clear out a whole homeless thing. So we introduce the plot. Okay, so introduce the plot right there. Homeless shelter and soup kitchen have been under attack recently. Introduce the world. Go find the plot. Then we get to the what have we got? I did sword, spear, trident. Okay. Okay. Need a name. If it's a sword, spear, and trident, so we'll call it Homeless Center. Yes, the Weapon Alliance. One of the themes I also want to explore is whack. Whack. Walk like for cooking. You could also pronounce it whack. Like you're whacking someone with a weapon. I keep saying I don't want it to get political, but then I just slide into politics. Like doing a power slide. Like I just like I start doing a regular turn, but then I just slam on the e-brake and just and it turns into a power slide. I keep promising myself it's gonna be a regular turn. Yeah. That's true. This got a little dark really fast. Okay, that's the Church of the Trident. We'll do more about the Church. I'll flesh out more of the Church of the Trident later. The other two churches get to be simple. What did I have for the Church of the Sword? Contributing. Then Church of the Spear. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at this from three different angles that will give three different things. Sword, spear, and trident. Yes. Together they are the Weapons Alliance. An ability of gaining a raccoon foot. I tried not to mimic that too much. But it is kind of where I got the idea for the different churches. But I thought I was going a little bit differently. No, they're not. Spears and tridents are definitely not the same thing. They're used entirely differently. Any stick can be a spear, but not any stick can be a trident. So a trident is more complex than a spear because it's normally heavier, has more material, and takes more training to use better. Okay. The trident is technically a three-pronged spear, so it's a type of spear, but it is still its own weapon. They're heavier, use more material, take more training. No, they're normally longer range. The thing is, because of the heavier head, tridents usually take more training than spears. Yeah, dragoon is a person with more training. The point of the spear is that you don't need training to use it. You just poke people with it. But a trident, in order to maneuver it and utilize it effectively, you do need to have actual training because of how heavy the head is. The entire reason why spears grew in usage was because you could raise an army of peasants using a spear in a matter of weeks and have them be effective, whereas to train the same number of people with swords would take months. Mm-hmm. Well, spears were never made for fighting. Spears are primarily used for fishing. Not spears, tridents, sorry. Tridents were made for fishing. Technically Nabiru. It is just a really big arrow, I guess. Complexity and nuance. Okay. Okay. With bladed weapons, you puncture or slice. How you get to that point and how much damage can be called skill, I guess. Also, it has to do with the like how good the weapon is. All right. Okay. So I guess that worked. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay. So we have the introduction. We have some RP section here where they learn more about the world. This is a secret that they don't know yet. Okay. So there's the rumors because the candidates have done that. I'll improv more things. So the idea is to have a basic idea of what's going on with the 3 different churches, and then improv as we go. And one of the fun things about improv is that you build out the lore as you need to. You think up the hows and whys later, but you get the pieces you need in place where you need them. Okay. Group of angelic slimes start attacking. Okay. Funny, so my roommate just came back from working on Yu-Gi-Oh cards and hanging out and doing stuff, right? And he he hands me his goat deck and tells me when I'm done with stream, he wants me to take a look at his latest goat deck he built and let him know if I think it's good, and if I think it's good, to sleeve it up for him. And I just say okay, but now that I'm thinking on it, I'm like, I barely understand what is and isn't goat and what is and isn't good for goat. So like, I don't even know. I think it's Destiny board is what he built. And as far as I understand it, for Destiny board, you just stall till you see your pieces. Like, I imagine you run it like an Exodia. You stall and draw cards. The slime stat block will do 6 health, 5 defense, 4 might, which gives you 4 vitality. Okay. That is 7 health. So they're going to start with a lot of health. Total of 11 health. 5 defense is pretty okay for starting. And their attacks are going to hit for 4. Not the best, not the worst. Okay, that's a pretty strong attack. That might be a little bit too much, especially if I want there to be multiple of them. Five health. All right, that's less health, less defense. All right, there we go. They attack with 4 might. They have 4 defense, so it's like they have 4 agility. No, they have 2 agility. All right. Okay. Actually, we're going to say they don't have vitality. And their defense is calculated differently. Their only stat is their might, which is 4. Yeah, Goat is full of busted cards and weird combos. It's not a format I'm used to. Like, I'm so used to just standard format, and then like I'm not even used to standard format. I'm used to using the standard ban list for. And he was talking to me about Goat and all of the Goat decks. And I was like, okay. And he's really excited about Goat and wants me to build a Goat deck so I can play against his Goat deck. And then he started talking to me about Edison format. It'll probably be the same site he showed me, which has like apparently some like Goat, some like compendium of Goat decks, where it has all these Goat decks sorted by type, and they're like their most optimal builds and stuff. But like the only thing I build are machines. Like I used to play like when I first started really playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Seriously, I played Geminis for a little while. Then I played Morphtronics. And I've played and then I played Machinas, and I've been playing Machinas since. I've been playing Machinas for over a decade. Well, there was a few years off in the middle, but you know what I mean. Well, no, it was over a decade before I took time off. Before I took a couple of years off. So at first I was like, what's Edison? And I thought it was referring to a college near where I grew up, and I was like, why would that be famous? Then I found out it was for Edison, New Jersey, the final Shonen Jump Championship. Yeah. And I was like, oh. Oh. Um, and it's funny because I was at the Edison, New Jersey final Shonen Jump Championship. Got the Tragodia playmat and everything. Gave it to my friend to sell at a store. Alright, so these slimes aren't hard to kill. Okay. Gonna have 2 players. Let's say there's 4 slimes. Okay. Yeah, I know they have an E-Hero build in GOAT, but in GOAT there's only 2 E-Hero fusions, Flame Wingman and Thunder Giant. So like the only E-Hero deck is based around Thunder Giant and uh Thunder Giant and like Flame Wingman, but it's mainly built around Thunder Giant. Mm-hmm. Basic humans get caught in the fray. Okay. Okay. What's Pac-Man do? That sounds weird, Nabiru. April 7th, 1995. No, what premiered, Silva? Oh, really? That's funny. Oh, wow. It's like it's destiny, Silva. Are you the chosen builder? Will building that gunpla send you on a magical adventure? Are you the chosen one, Silva? You found the wing today. Is it gonna be like that one LBX show where when that oh no, Silva, not the unaliving. Silva. Okay, so there was this show. It was an LBX spin-off show, which is really funny because LBX was like kind of like Gundam Build Fighters, where like you made the toys and then you fought them. But then there was another LBX spin-off show where the LBX was just toys you make, right? Um, and this girl wants to get into LBX, so she buys a model kit when her friend is like being a super otaku. And when she goes, I can't remember if she built it or not, or if she hadn't even opened the box yet, but she gets sucked into an alternate world where it's like a post-apocalyptic thing, and there are these monsters attacking, and the girls are the only ones who can fight, and they fight by summoning the weapons of the LBX model they were assembling when they got sucked into the world. It is really trippy. I wonder if that's what's going to happen. If you're going to build that Gundam wing, and then you're going to get sucked into an alternate world where you have to save the world using the powers of the wing Gundam. What do you think, Selva? Think you're up for you think you're up for saving the world, saving the multiverse with the power of the wing Gundam? Becoming a magical girl that summons the Buster Cannon? Advantage in lockdown. The cards focus on destroying the enemy's cards every turn by flipping up and down. Oh, okay. Focus on a camel, a bird, a couple swarm insects, that all flip up and then down every turn, giving you the pure advantage. But once the enemy knows that they can counter round 2. Okay. Is countering it just attacking? Oh, so they're not regular flip effects. Because regular flip effects go off even if they're attacked. But they're just when this card is flipped face up, or was flip summoned. Okay. This is also going to have an interesting. This campaign, this one shot is going to have this interesting thing where the players are going to essentially go around smashing massive religious symbols. Um, that is going to be uh, and exposing corrupt religious organizations that are uh, betraying the trust of those that follow them. Okay. So this is funny because the players can very much derail this campaign very quickly. Which is kind of funny. Four and three. Free magic gives +2 to the defense, makes it 7. 4 might gives it plus up to 7 health. I'll leave it open-ended what the player needs to use to get free. The magic slam, it flings its body at the target and tries to absorb them. If they take more than 3 damage in a single attack, they're absorbed and must spend their turn struggling to get free, which becomes a roll-off. Fall inside the slime, they move with it, have misfortune on anything they try to do besides getting free. There is some continuous damage. Okay. So if they tie on the roll off, they don't get free, but they don't take any damage either. All right. So we've created this interesting boss, a lot of health, pretty high defense, and a powerful attack. This might be a little bit much, honestly. You know what? This is too much. Okay. So it's not going to do any damage with its slime, but it's going to try to absorb them. Oh, that kind of goat deck. Okay. The slime isn't going to try to do very much damage. It's just going to try to absorb them. Which is going to be a lot. Just going to try to suck them up and then absorb them. Which isn't bad. It only deals 1 damage a turn. Okay. Okay. This actually might be a little bit underpowered, but that 7 defense and that 7 health is pretty hefty. Um, all for having such low attacks, so they can attack with their might or their magic. Okay. 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 All right. So we have this laid out. Got the stat blocks. Let me save what I have so far. Fleshed out a lot more things. Introduce the plot more. I think I like how this introduces the plot better. Now the thing is, from Go Find the Plot, from part 2 onwards, the players have the potential to completely sidetrack the story by choosing not to go to the homeless center. And I use the spear as an obvious red herring because they're gonna look like the worst one, right? Where is Dunes? No, I'm not familiar what that is. Welcome, Watsy? Okay, so we've got this set up. Now let me show you, now that I have this refined idea with stat blocks and things, I'll probably have some social combat mixed in on this go find the plot. And the find the real plot probably have some social combat mixed in there. Ah, funny, a D's nuts joke. That's funny. Okay. Second. So now to do what I actually said I was going to do. Quick. Okay. Now to do what I said I was going to do originally, which was expand this and work on expanding this into a campaign. That was what I originally wanted to do, but it took a little bit longer than anticipated to get around. We lost it some time in the middle, and it took a little bit longer than I anticipated to get the to get things situated. Okay. So let's start fleshing this out. All right, let's see what we got here. So normally, in a campaign, you want to flesh out what the villain is doing, and then you can build the adventures for what's happening around the villain's plot. And then, if you know what the villain is doing, then as the players start foiling bits and pieces of the villain's plot, you have some frame of reference for what the villain needs to do to fix their plot, so you can figure out how the villain is going to react to the player's actions. You always want the player's actions to have weight, to force some change in the villain's plan, to force the villain to do something differently, and take things in a different direction. And you can't do that unless you have an idea of what's going to happen in an ideal situation, right? And normally, most villains' plans get broken down into 4 sections. Getting something, building something, testing something, final activation of whatever the thing is, whatever the MacGuffin is. In this case, it's the 7. So this is the first adventure where they need sacrifices. Well, if the point of this plot was that they need sacrifices, they'll find sacrifices other ways after the players foil them, which is kind of sad. But it forces them to think differently, right? So you normally want to split each one of these 4 things into 3 to 4 parts. And those are the plot relevant adventures. Each adventure can take 1 to 3 sessions, and then you may not be having each adventure back to back. You may be having 1 to 4 adventures in the middle between each one of these adventures to explore different character plot points, to explore backstory, and to explore whatever triggers or ideas your players have given you as you've gone. The point is you want to make sure that you're somehow incorporating time to explore your characters, and then you have to come up with ways as you go on. Now, this is also a rough draft. You don't plan more than 1 adventure ahead. So I may have a rough name of an adventure, but I don't actually sit down like what I just did here, where I planned out the 5 parts of the adventure or whatever. You don't do that more than one adventure ahead. Because you want to make sure you plan out your adventures based on what the players are doing, so you make their choices mean something. All right, so need sacrifices for 7 sacred symbols. Ugh. What part sounds good, Nabiru? Yes. You want to have a plot that you're working with, but you want the players, like, so right now, right? I'm listing this off as, yes, random shenanigans could spawn. So like right now, where I'm listing this off right now, where they need sacrifices for the 7 massive sacred symbols, right? So the players find out in this adventure that the bad guys are using the homeless center as a place to get. So having this core idea and how it fits into the big thing can inform the original. So now I know that it's about the sacrifices, right? So I might say that the players, as they're investigating, find out there have been disappearances. People have heard that they're getting accepted into some program to get them a house, but then nobody hears from them again, and just hopes that that they've having a good time, right? So the general idea and how it fits in the larger plan can inform the adventure. Need craftspeople. So for the needs craftspeople, you could say craftspeople are disappearing, and the players have to follow up on those disappearances. So basically, all these things are things that are disappearing, except for like the locations. Locations wouldn't disappear. Well, they would be getting bought up. Like houses and property would be getting bought up. So you can put some other special notes here, right? Like, Okay. Okay. Need craftspeople. Need special supplies. Um, Need military cooperation. Let me also put this note here. Okay, special construction. Okay. Mm, okay, so testing something. So if sacred symbols work. Okay. All right, so final activation usually has 3 to 4 parts. All right. Good night, Silva. Thanks for being here. It was great having you and having your input about the spears and tridents debates. Okay. So this is Princess Lilypad's plan. Get the people for sacrifices, purchase the properties and locations for the 7 symbols, and gain support of the local churches. Then get the craftspeople in order to put the final bits on the sacred symbols to make them so powerful. And take the special rare materials needed in order to finalize the construction. Disarm anyone who might be possibly a threat to their to the invasion. Perform final tests by summoning massive angelic monstrosities to wreak havoc. To test if the sacred symbols work individually. And then the movement to transport to the 7 locations. And then need to know if sacrifices are enough. So then find out that homeless people keep disappearing to power these sacrifices in order to make the paint and the other supplies. Then you have the final activation, which starts with Princess Lilypad making her public announcement, telling the world that she's going to be installing herself as leader. But the 7 symbols activate a day early for some reason. A single group of angelic monstrosities come through in the small portal that does open. The 7 of them do activate properly. It's just they don't have the eclipse to power them. So the portal only stays open for a second. Okay. Uh, so one of the things that how to be a great GM really highlighted is that um uh, uh, it can be very common for players to just lose the plot. Um, to just not care about the main plot of the game and to just wander off on their own and to, as Okusen put it, um, go get a job at McDonald's and buy an apartment and go on their own misadventures. Um, and having this all laid out means if the players are choosing to intentionally not interact with the story, first off, you need to have a conversation with the players and be like, hey, there are these plot hooks. How can I motivate one conversation you can't be afraid to have with your players is to sit down with your players and say, hey, how can I motivate your players? How can I motivate your characters? What will it take to motivate your character into action, into going to do something and getting involved in something? You don't have to tell the players like what your big plan is, but you can just ask it just like that and say, how can I motivate your character and get your character to participate in something um, without it feeling forced or twisting their arm or railroady? Like, what can I do that would naturally make your character want to be involved? What could be the situation? And uh, that's that's really important to be able to do that. But also, if like if you're just going to keep going, you want to let the players know through different things in the backstory, especially if as the players start stopping bad guys, right? And start stopping plans, um, then you have uh then you have stuff happening in the background, saying, hey, this new in one city over, we're having homeless people disappear, right? Um, and so like there's that, right? Um, and to be fair, this story is kind of dark. It's kind of silly, but kind of dark. Um, with the whole sacrifices and um, it's not doing the whole thing where like you become a monster as part of the story, but it is doing a thing where you're dealing with truly monstrous individuals that market themselves off as heroes and of purity and righteousness. And that's one of the things where I think this story excels, or is going to excel, if I ever get through the entire thing. And the other thing, looking at this, I don't know whether my game is structured well enough for the players to make it through even all of these adventures without leveling up, because it's 8 failures to a level up, and then there are only 7 level ups after you start at level 1. So that's 56 failures to complete the level up, right? To complete the character. How many things are you going to fail? How many things are you going to succeed? How many challenges are you going to go for? You should normally be failing about half of them for most things on average, like especially if you're going by the GGD. So that's like 100 some odd rolls. you're averaging 2 to 4 dice per roll. So like how many, it's one of the things I am concerned about is how many rolls is it going to take for players to start leveling up? How many times will a player level up per session? Which is one of the reasons why I've said, I even put in the rules that like this leveling system may not work for you, and it may be better for you to use a more milestone system to just have them level up as the adventure goes, because these are the primary story adventures, right? That doesn't count the side stories, the beach episodes, the the slice of life episodes, So there's a lot of ways that things can go kind of weird, Anyway, that's how I plan out a campaign. Look at what the bad guy needs for each stage of the campaign, for each stage of the plan, and then set a basic adventure out for that to fill that need. Then, if the player succeeds or is able to stop the villain from filling that need, then the villain needs to come up with a new plan, which could be an entirely different adventure, or it could be something that happens off screen, or maybe they don't get as many sacrifices as they need. So that changes what they have to do. So maybe that makes the final battle a little bit weaker because they didn't get as many sacrifices as they need, because maybe one or more of the sacred symbols is incomplete. But yeah, a lot of this stuff I got like this 4-part structure of getting something, building something, testing something, final activation, I got from How to Be a Great GM. They are a wonderful resource. Check out that channel if you ever get a chance. I highly recommend it. I use a lot of their methods and a lot of things from that channel working on my own stuff. Anyway, let's wind down. We got like 10 minutes left in the stream. So as we slide into the weekend, what is everybody doing this weekend? Thank you, Nabiru. I think this adventure came together really smoothly because I had a clear goal, and see, this is where that having that initial sentence pays off. Where, okay, the initial sentence of someone wants something badly by a certain time and is having trouble getting it with a certain method. Having that sentence and filling out that sentence informs what I want, that informs what the villain needs, which then drives putting together the rest of the plot. Also, one of my housemates showed me an ad for some sound absorbing foam that is like self-adhesive so I can stick it to stuff. So I'm thinking of picking up some squares of that stuff, putting it on the on the walls around me, to help with my sound, so that way sound doesn't travel out of the room. And if it does well enough, who knows? I might end up doing karaoke at some point. Who knows? And sky's the limit, I guess. We'll especially see what happens whenever we move. We keep talking about moving, but then it just never really materializes. Yeah, I just want it to work properly because, like, what I'm concerned about, right, is it's going to be one of those things where it only works one way, where it stops sounds from coming into my area, right? But it doesn't stop my sounds from going out. That's what I'm worried about. Because that's what I want. I want to stop sounds from going out. I've debated like getting blankets and other things to like staple to the ceiling above me in order to absorb sound, keep some of the sound from going out. Um, but I just haven't gone through with it, you know? Like picking up some thick blankets to cover up the boards above me. Um, and then make into it my own little bunker kind of thing. All right. Let me see if there's any cool memes to talk about. Oh my gosh, Zentrea. Zentrea said she had a memory of when she was traveling with her mom and dad by the ocean and saw and dolphins were jumping in the bay, and she got so excited she screamed, "Mom, look! Oh my God, look! Can you see the dolphins? Whoa, you have to see this!" Got so excited that she forgot her mom was blind and her mom looked the opposite way. True. Ah. My feed has become full of so many people that are suffering and in need of help. All I can do is like and share. Here's a funny meme. Women get to smell like real things, vanilla, lavender, but men have to smell like concepts. What the F is Cool Sport Rush? I have my deodorant right here. Speed Stick Regular. What is uh, Aw, saw a thing about a woman rescuing a elderly blind Arctic fox from a dog shelter. Aw. Oh, Wicked is set to become the fourth longest running show in Broadway history? Why am I not surprised? That show's been around forever. It's still running? Jeez. Oh yeah, have you seen the stuff about the Barbie movie coming out? I have so many movies I want to see. I want to see the Barbie movie. I want to see the D&D movie. Um, I want to see, there's so many things I want to see. Yeah. Disney executive, I need ideas, people. Big ideas, employee. What if we did all of our movies again? Disney executive, cigar drops out of mouth. Uh, This is a funny meme. Can we please stop inventing new ways to use debit cards? Checkout lines are stressful enough without having to figure out if I should tap it, slap it, boop it, or scoop it. Please just pick one. Like, oh, why is there such a movie? What, the Barbie movie? Sorry, I was so caught up in reading. The Barbie movie looks like it's going to be funny. It looks like it's going to be really funny. Or you're asking about the D&D movie. Like, the Barbie movie looks like it's going to be really funny. Might be, like, there's just so many facets to Barbie that they could use for the story. And so that should be interesting. Why not? I mean, we have movies of everything else. Speaking of movies of everything else, I need to see the Tetris movie. I'm hoping it comes out on DVD or something soon. I don't know if it's still in theaters, but I need to see it. No. Okay. When I first saw the ad for the Tetris movie, I was like, wait a minute, how do you make a movie out of Tetris? But it is a movie about how Tetris got made, it got sold and marketed as a video game. And it's this whole long story because Tetris was invented by a designer in the Soviet Union at the height of, I think it was the Cold War. So like trying to get, I don't know all the details because I didn't see the movie. But like according to the ad, it was like trying to get the rights to sell Tetris with the Game Boy to have it as a launch title with the first Game Boy was this whole adventure that turned into almost a spy thriller. All because one man was just, he played Tetris one time and he was obsessed with it. And he just wanted the world to know the joy of Tetris. All right. Well, we are normally I like to go for 3 hours. We're at 3 hours and 7 minutes. Let's wind down. Okay, this is one last one I gotta share with. I only call my haters broke. Everybody else is just a victim of capitalism. Junk collector plus magical explosion. What do those do? Junk collector, banish it to use the effect of a normal trap from grave. Magical explosion deals damage equal to the number of spells in your grave times 300. Oh, it's just a burn deck. You use a bunch of burn spells, then you magical explosion, and then you junk collector to magical explosion again. not Goat, as Collector came out in 2018, but still an amusing deck concept. I wonder if it's Edison. Oh. Okay. Uh, 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 how? I just saw something that's really dumb that I'm not going to afflict you with. Oh, this is something interesting to know about. Apparently, if you have a bird feeder, you have to make sure you only use plain white sugar and water to a mixture of 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. Or else, if you use like brown sugar, artificial sugar, or powdered sugar, or brown or honey, or any of those other things besides plain white sugar, it causes fungus to grow in hummingbirds' tongues and guts, which kills them. And definitely you can't use anything that's red because the red is toxic to them. So you have to use plain white sugar and water if you ever set up a bird feeder. I'll share that. Why are there RC cars with gas engines? Alright. I got distracted again because I just do that sometimes. Alright. Okay, so let's wind down. I want to say to everyone who came to tonight's stream, thank you for coming. Close Facebook so I stop being distracted. I want to say to Duels Talk with Nabaru, to Silva. Anyone else come through? Oh yeah, there was that person in the middle. Watka. Wat. Watsy. Question mark. With the Dunes nuts joke. That was funny. And to anyone else who watched the quietly and lurked and didn't say anything on the stream, and to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say that I love all of you, and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that you all are wonderful and truly unique, special, one-of-a-kind people. I believe that each one of you makes this world a better place just by being in it. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your energy. Thank you for being a part of this Star Hunter community. I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it because I think you make this world better just by living. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy. Want to keep up with what I'm doing here on YouTube, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Check if you're subscribed, because I think YouTube's been unsubscribing people. I've lost 2 subscribers in the last few days, and I don't think I've done anything truly offensive. I just keep losing subscribers. Kind of sad. But yeah, check to see if you if it's unsubscribed you or not. And ding the notification bell to let you know whenever I go live or when I release any new content. Yeah, the stuff about getting my content edited and put together never really came to fruition. So yeah, I guess that just never really came together. Sorry about that. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join the Discord. There's links to both of those in the description below. I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Also, always remember, you never have to donate to be a member of this community. You don't have to pay or give money to be welcome here or to enjoy my content. I want you to know that you are a welcome member of this community just for giving me your time, your energy, your attention. With that said, if you ever feel motivated to donate to improve the stream or to improve my life, there are links where you can do that down below. Also, I do ask if you're interested in Magical Girl stuff and TTRPGs to check out my Magical Girl TTRPG. There's a link to that in the description below. And if you're interested in making more RPGs, there's links to Titanomachy RPG's webpage, who is the one that developed the Emerge8 and the Fantasy Emerge system that I used in order to design my game. They have some really great open source SRDs that are just wonderful for making your own games and putting together your own stuff. It is truly astounding what you can do with the engines that they've developed. Like Caltrip Core is literally a work of art. And that said, good night, everybody. Next stream is going to be Monday night at 8:30 p.m. EST. I'll probably be doing a writing stream because we're going to be trying to get back to work. I have some ideas. I want to pick back up with where I was with Halcyon Avenging, because I've realized there's some things I really just don't know how to write, and I want to see if I can get better at that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.